All right, I was going to do a phone conference, but to be real with you, it got so complicated to try to get 8, 9, 10 people on the phone at one time, and I don't actually think it's necessary, and I also don't want to face a bunch of really difficult questions by some of you who are going to give me a bunch of crap. So that will eliminate that. Actually, we will have individual phone conferences with the department. So I'll get the service department on the phone so you guys can ask questions, and then I'll get Zach and Jake and Blake on the phone, and then the dispatchers on the phone. So we can have 3 different conferences by phone, just so I can more personalize and answer questions in a more personal way by that. So regarding this mess we're in right now as a country, and I'm sorry, I'm touching my face. Sue me. I can't help it. It's natural. I'm going to spare you the long talk about this is unprecedented and it's never happened before, because you've heard all that. I mean, you guys, unless you've been under a rock, you know all that stuff. So let me just say, I'll skip that. But to make it a little worse for us, for our industry here in Indiana, is we had a mild winter. I mean, so we got through a mild winter, which is something I'm prepared to deal with. I've done it before. We always know that at the end of the into that valley there is hot weather, and we're gonna make a good income the minute it gets warm. So, but the mild winter I could deal with. But what happened was, the minute when the virus, news got out and the president declared this as a national emergency, which he had no choice to do, the consumers just clammed up. Consumers do not like, one thing I can tell you with great certainty is consumers do not like uncertainty. So there's a tremendous, obviously there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty. So consumers are just frozen. They don't want to do anything they don't have to do. So that was the component that really gave us the 1-2 punch in a bad way. So while I'm piling on the bad news, let me throw one more out there. You hear about a lot of people getting, just send your, you hear some of the politicians talk about, we're gonna pay people not to work. You're gonna get your paycheck. This stuff right now is all fantasy. It's political talk. No one is getting a government check right now to not work. That program doesn't exist. The only people who are getting paid to not work are people who work for corporations who have the money to do that, or individuals who are very wealthy and they say, I'm going to pay my people not to work. But as far as government checks going, that's just not happening. And the truth is we as a company just don't have that type of ability to fund a business for, weeks and weeks on end without bringing in money. I wish we did, but basically with a mild winter, we've already kind of burned through that excess of capital that we have in cash. So there's just not, a bunch of pile of money sitting around, and I can just pay everyone to just, go home, take a few weeks off. Everything will be great. I wish it were the case, but that's the bad news. So I guess there is a little bit of good news. Look, if we were a restaurant, a hotel, a barber shop. I mean, these people are getting shut down hard. They're hard shut down. That would be worse. So I don't even want to fathom how difficult it is for those people. Fortunately, we're considered an essential business, so we can still go out and do demand service. So we're going to be able to bring in a few bucks and keep some people busy. So the issue now I want to focus on is how does this whole thing play out? What do I see? If I can read the future. And here's what So let me start with the worst case scenario. Let's just so I can end on something maybe a little more positive. The worst case scenario is that that, you know, if we have extremely mild weather for the next month and no cooling calls, it's going to really strap us as a company, and it will be tough. I'd rather be honest with you now and tell you that. In that case, what will happen is the people who will be able to work are the people who actually are in the field doing repairs. I mean, the people we cannot spare are the people who can actually go out and do repairs. So anyone on the peripheral of that who's in the office or warehouse or whatever, and you guys, you know, obviously you know who you are, that's going to be a tougher situation. So we will have to, let's just pray it doesn't come to that, you know. And by the way, just to be specific, since I already mentioned warehouse, and that's only Zach. Zach, you are in the field for some really important things when we do have installs. So, you know, you kind of fit a unique situation there. I didn't mean to make it personal, but that was pretty obvious. But the best case scenario for me is, and I think this is more likely, let's be hopeful that this is more likely, is that it's going to be slow for a little while, but the minute it gets hot, all of a sudden there's demand service. We start doing some repairs, we start doing some installs, things start to look more normal, and we can survive what's I still think is going to be unless things just turn around wonderfully, we're still going to have a tough summer because we're playing catch up. But look, once we get busy doing that, if people are in their homes, even if they're still stuck in their homes, they're still going to have air conditioning. So I think that if we can survive until it gets warm, we'll be okay. You know, so let's be hopeful. So that's really all I prepared to say. Any specific questions you have will be handled in the private conference calls with the departments. And I just want to finally say we have not been able to track down masks, gloves. I mean, I've called, Zach's called, I've been looking everywhere. I mean, I literally can't get a mask anywhere. They laugh at me when I call in, you know. So at some point, what we're gonna have to do, guys, is just, if you have a dust mask somewhere in your garage or something, please get it, keep it clean, and use it. I bought some masks in the past for you people in the field. If you've got one, dig it out, use it. Wear gloves in the homes. I mean, even if you're not used to wearing a glove, when you go up to the door, have a pair of gloves on. Even if you don't plan on working with them on, you definitely need to have a pair of gloves on, even as you come to the house. You know, come up to the door. Shoe covers we have, etc. But you know, I'm certainly thinking of you and your families. I hope they're safe, and keep safe. Follow the protocols that are out there, and we will get through this together. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you.